It is dark. Hello, my lovely peaches. I think this is way louder. I'm trying to set it up. Let's see, I do need that open for the music. Welcome to my after stretch live stream. Welcome, my lovely peaches. Welcome. I'm just trying to find a good spot. This is an after stretch, after Thanksgiving live stream. Chill, hang out. Let me see if I can put some light on so it's not so dark. Let's see, I can do a light over here. Oh, that's not the best lighting. Let's see, what if I move this over here? Let me try to turn this off. Hello, I'm just setting up. I'm just trying to get a good spot with some decent lighting for this chill hangout. It's Friday evening. So I just finished stretching. Not just, but actually I finished stretching and then I ate my tater tots that I was cooking while I was stretching. And so I went out earlier. My kids went with their dad for their overnight. And then I made a cute little quick video for my OF channel. And then I went to the store and I was recording some videos of myself talking about this subject. My hair looks funny. As I was driving, I was recording myself talking about a couple of things. One is the videos that I've been making lately, which are talking about manifesting phrases. And let's see, I have to clear my throat. Hi, my Osric. How are you? Thank you for being here. So I just started chatting to myself because I'm here by myself, and I was going to talk about my latest video series, which is where I'm talking about manifesting phrases. What do they really mean? And learning how to use them to your benefit. But if you have anything specific you'd like to talk about or ask me, I'm sorry, I'm just getting comfy. Just make a comment. I'm on a rocking chair, a glider. A little awkward. Just pop it in a comment and I can try to answer your question. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk about what I'm talking about. And if it's interesting to you, then I guess you'll stay. And if not, thank you for being here. I love people who are interested in the things that I'm making. Please let me know if this music, actually, I don't really like this one song. I'm going to fast forward if I can. So, no, I don't like the name of that one. Okay. So, manifesting phrases. So, the video that I just posted, which actually was like midnight on Thanksgiving, like so yesterday, it's called Everyone Is You Pushed Out, Neville Goddard, Clarifying for Real Manifesting. Hello. And if you want to ask a question, Okay, very cool. And if you have any questions about what I'm saying or other questions about anything, please pop it in the comment and I will try to answer you. So the low junk slogans are a Buddhist teaching. They are 59 slogans that help to train you, mind train you, and that has to do with basically learning how to be a happier person, learning how to heal from your traumas, learning how to have healthier relationships. And so sometimes people who are very interested in manifesting get hooked on certain phrases, and I was one of those people. And for a long time, I was thought experimenting with phrases like, you can manifest any specific person regardless of circumstances. And I was very interested in seeing if that could be true. And I allowed myself to suspend temporarily my belief that my real belief is that everyone has free will, and that ultimately it's actually better if someone is choosing you and you're choosing them, because then it's a mutual investment. It's a relationship that's mutually desired. And that's ultimately what I came to believe is the healthiest thing to do. But in the meantime, when I was still obsessively fixated on someone specific who was not interested in me and I was interested in manifesting him, I listened to a lot of these YouTubers who teach these things, which really kind of veered away from all the teachers that I already have been really following and investing, which is linked in a video. I can post it in this video if you're interested. It's like all the teachers that I love, and excuse me. And all of those specific teachers actually teach the opposite of you can manifest any specific person regardless of circumstances. They teach what I now am a teacher of, which is that you can manifest the right specific person for you, but that might not be the specific person you're fixated on. And that's okay. And that's actually better. It's better for you and it's better for them. And that when you actually truly genuinely love someone, I'm just noticing the music stopped. All right, so play the page. So when I believe when you really love someone, so there's a way of loving somebody where you're like, oh my God, you're so great and I want to be with you because, you know, you're the cutest and you're the sexiest and you're the smartest and the funniest and all the good things that you love about them. And in some sense, yes, that's a form of loving them. But loving a person more deeply and more truly is when you love them for who they want you to recognize them as, or they just who they are. Like they might not give a fuck if you recognize who they are. That might not matter to them. It just matters that you do. I'm sorry, this lighting is like awkward. I'm trying to like get good lighting. So, you know, they might not even know who you are. They might have zero cares and zero fucks about whether or not you recognize who they really are. But in order to truly love the person, I believe you do need to recognize who they are. I'm going to try it this way. It's not as good, but I need the lighting. Sorry, this is what a live is, I guess. It's not perfect. See, I would really want the lighting to be like over here somehow. This is so awkward. I am such an amateur with this stuff, so I guess you have to just go with the flow. I think that's better. Okay, so if you really love a person, to truly love a person, I believe, I'll turn that down, is to recognize who they believe that they are and to allow them to discern what is best for them. I don't believe loving somebody is when you say to somebody, well, you don't want XYZ, but I believe XYZ is right for you. So even though you want 1, 2, 3, thank you. I know the other lighting was like making my sunken in dark circles. Thank you. But okay, so when somebody says to you, hey, you who think that, XYZ is right for you, no, I think, 1, 2, 3 is what you should have. I don't think that you believe that that's feels loving to you. I know I don't think it's loving to me when I say, you know, I this is what matters to me, this is how I feel, and then someone else is like, no, you should feel this way. You should love this instead. That's not actually somebody loving you. And when we try to do that to another, even if we think, oh, I put you on such a high place that I want to try to play the music again. You think you put them on this pedestal and that somehow that is loving them, but if they don't want to be with you, then understanding that and actually learning to love that about them is truly loving them. And that's part of why I believe that trying to manifest somebody regardless of circumstances is unhealthy. And because it preys on people who are desperate. So I'm making a video that I was today, after I made the video that I shared on my OF, and then I went out to the store, and while I was driving, I was taking clips of video of the thoughts of what I'm saying now, and why it's so important to learn pithy statements that can help you manifest, which so manifesting, all manifesting is basically existing. Like every second of the day you're manifesting, you're living, and that's what manifesting is. But you can either manifest intentionally, or you can just sort of like go through life and let whatever happens. I'm gonna get a sip of water. So a lot of people just go through life and like, maybe they just doing whatever they were taught when they were little. They just do the traditions. They eat what they eat what their parents taught them to eat. They believe what their parents taught them to believe, which is what their parents' parents taught them, and on and on. That's one way of identifying and belonging, which is fine. But a lot of people are just living on autopilot and not really manifesting. So everybody's manifesting. You're manifesting no matter what the hell you're doing. You're manifesting. But you're either just manifesting, which is just a fancy way of saying living and creating, like if you have a job that you don't like and you're doing something that you don't care for, and you don't make enough money or enough money to make you happy, and you're not with somebody or whatever it is, those are the choices that you're making. And even if you believe in your mind, I don't have a choice, this is literally what I have to do, that's still you manifesting, you creating, you living your life. So, there was a while where my mother felt that she had no choice. Every time her sister's son, her nephew, every time her nephew would call her and say, hey Tati, I need money, she felt inside that she had no option to say no. And so she would always give him money. And then she started to be frustrated and she would complain. And then one day I said to her, Mom, you can say no. And she was like, no, I can't. This is, because his father died and the mom is like not well. I think she might be possibly an addict. And then he has a brother who's an addict, and they're kind of estranged. So she has all these reasons. She has all these reasons why she felt like, I cannot say no to my nephew when he needs money. And I said to her, Mom, if you have all these reasons that you truly, truly believe that you cannot say no to him, that is acceptable and valid, but still, those are your reasons why you feel like you have to say yes. So if you feel that, if you feel obligated to him and you want to say yes, that's okay. But, you know, just sort of know that it's not like somebody's forcing you. You can make the choice to say yes. And you can also make the choice to say no. It's up to you. You know what? She said the other day, she said, oh, I stopped giving him money. I realized, you know, it's just so funny because, yeah, you realize I said this to you, and like a year later, it's like, I realized. That's perfectly fine. She realized that she was making the choice to manifest. She was manifesting was based on her belief that she had no option to say no to this person who was a grown-ass man who was perfectly capable of working and earning money. And yes, there was a time where, you know, and then actually his mother passed away as well. So there was all these reasons, but then time passed, and then she felt like, you know what, enough is enough now. I don't have to do that anymore. And so what I'm trying to say is, when we live our life according to these blind beliefs that we have or that we're not aware of, that we're holding, and we don't recognize that we are actually making choices every day. Even if you're making a choice, that if you're making the choice that says, I have no choice but to stay here, that's still a choice. Believe it or not, it's a choice. I mean, if you're in jail, you're probably not watching this. I don't think you can watch lives on YouTube if you're in jail. I don't know. But, you know, and I won't even say if you're in jail, oh, you made the choices to be there, because there are systemic issues in a lot of places where you may have shown up. You may be, you know, you may have been born into a situation where people are like, I didn't manifest this. And that's why I do agree that yes, there's some level of we create our lives. You're not in jail, and that's great, but you know what? A lot of people are actually in a jail of their own mind, in a jail of their faulty thinking or their limited beliefs. They are in the prison of what they think they're capable of. I certainly was for a long time. I probably still am in some respects, because I believe I'm capable of being financially abundant. And you know, it's like I always get to this level where you know, I'm doing pretty good, but then it's like now it's sort of like hand to mouth, you know, like I'm just scraping by. Like, okay, like right now it's like, okay, a couple months ago I was like, I had a lot of money and it was doing fantastic, and then now it's like, oh fuck, rent is due in like a week, and I'm still trying to scrounge up the last bit of it. And yet it's like, I hate being here, but this is the familiar place. This is the place that for some reason, I guess that's the familiar mind state that I have of myself. Like, this is where I'm familiar being, which is basically like how I was raised. Like, we were not poverty level. Like, we weren't homeless, and we didn't like go hungry. We always had excuse me, we always had what we needed. We always had enough, but we never had extra. It was like a no frills life. Like, I always had a place to sleep, and I always had clothes to wear, and I always had food to eat, but we didn't go on vacations. And you know, I might have gotten a couple of gifts for each gift, you know, like birthdays and Christmas and stuff, but it was not anything lavish, you know. So the fact is, like, that is the level that is my internal, that's my cap. That's where I'm like, oh, this is what I know. And I am trying to break out of that and allow myself to, you know, not believe I have to stay small, because that's just what's familiar, and that's how I was raised. Like, you know what, you need to stay small because we don't feel comfortable with anything else. And all the other things that, you know, all the other things I get into in all my Patreon videos, where I really, really get deep dived into my childhood and my traumas, and I talk a lot about that. And those are the things that I'm working on healing, so that I can actually up level my mind state, so that I don't find myself consistently cycling through where I'm starting to really actually get to a place where I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually on, if I maintain this level of abundance financially, I'm going to be wealthy like this. I'm going to be wealthy. And then right when I get to that point, it's just like, and it goes out, and then it goes right back down to not to where I'm like, oh shit, poverty, but like right to the same exact level of where I grew up at, which is I have just enough what I need, but no frills. I have enough to get by, but I don't have extra. And it's hard to break that mindset. It is, but it's a constant daily endeavor, which I'd like to do. And and so I was talking about manifesting a specific person regardless of circumstances, and how that's a faulty thinking, and that's because that's based on a thank you, and that's based on a again a limited mind state that even says like this person who doesn't want me is somehow the best, when there's literally somebody out there who would actually want you, which just that quality in and of itself makes them better already. Like you know, like somebody can be Brad Pitt, or I have a few people who I mentioned on my video of like, oh, these are my fantasy celebrity, but I don't even really I don't have any fantasy of a celebrity that I desperately want to manifest, because that's just so not realistic for me. And it's like, why would I even want that? Like, that's not even my lifestyle. I'm not even in that world. Manifesting someone specific should include like they're in the world that makes sense for you, and you're in the world that makes sense for them, and that you guys are well suited, well matched mutually. The feeling of being deeply desired by someone that you deeply desire, and it being a mutual desire that manifests into mutual investment, that is what healthy love is supposed to be based upon, which is not going to come from manipulating someone who doesn't want to be there into trying to make them want to be there. So, like I said in my video, instead of fucking with the middle, stop fucking with the middle. Just go straight to the source. Like Neville Goddard says, no, you don't want that man or no man. You just want to be happily married or in a happy relationship. So it's not about a specific person outside of yourself. Like, you are the specific person. That's the other thing I always say. Manifest yourself. Be your own SP. Be the specific person that you desire. It's not going to happen to you from somebody else like shining a light of love on you, and then like suddenly you're like magically manifested into this person. You have to actually be the person. I have to drink water. 1 second. Thank you for being so patient. I see all these people pop in and pop out, but that's okay, because I don't really care about making people who are not interested in what I have to say stay. So if you're here because you're enjoying it, awesome, welcome. And anybody interested can watch it on the replay. But now I lost track of what I was saying. What was I saying? If you have any questions, welcome. And do you have any questions? My Osric, you're the only one who seems to be interested in staying here, which is fine. But do you have any questions about anything that I'm saying? Does it make any sense? Am I just rambling? I was so fixated on this specific guy. Thank you. Thank you. I was so fixated on this guy And, oh, that's what I was saying. I remembered I was saying that I was watching a live stream of a YouTuber today who talks about manifesting, and I was looking at the comments that the people were commenting, and it kind of broke my heart in a way because some of the comments were just so out there. Like, how do I pass the test without even going to take it? How do I manifest $15,000 instantaneously for, to pay my rent? How do I how do I get the degree without actually going to school? And somebody even was like, how do I make it so that, somebody didn't have a stroke? And I get it, people are really interested in the magic pill, in the magic potion. I wonder, can you hear the rain? I have the phone in the window. It's raining outside. Let's see, I can turn the phone around for you to see for 1 sec. Can you see it? Or is it not raining? It's just windy. But, the society, I'm American. I live on the East Coast. And people where I live, everybody wants the magic pill, the magic shot, the magic injection. They want the magic phrase, the abracadabra. They want to be able to just, get rich quick. People are just looking for, yeah, rainy days are nice. People are looking for the fast scheme, Tell me how to get everything I want instantaneously without having to do anything to do it. Is that really fun? I mean, maybe that would be fun. I don't know. Then people get upset at rich people and like, oh, poor little rich. And it's like, you know what? That probably so many people are super, super wealthy are unhappy because literally having everything you ever want at the snap of a finger doesn't actually bring you happiness. And it doesn't bring fulfillment. And it's like Jim Carrey said, I wish everybody could, he said, I wish everybody could get super rich and super famous so that they would see that it doesn't actually bring happiness. And, you could fill that in with anything. I wish people would fill in the blank of whatever it is that you wish that you could instantaneously get. I wish you could instantaneously get the thing that you wish you could instantaneously get so you could see that, you know what, the joy of life is in the living. That's why I'm saying the word manifesting is a fancy way of saying living. You can't live it faster. If you live it faster, you're dead. If you live it faster, if you get to the end straight away, then it's like people always say, oh, I'm going to end up, or where do you want to end up, or, how is this going to end up? But if you're always worried about ending up, like the end is the end. I don't want it to end. I want to live it. I want it to be long and drawn out, and I want to live it. If manifesting is simply a fancy way of saying living, then how are you living? What are you manifesting? It's what are you living? You're living. Why are you rushing through it? Why are you trying to get to the end? Why are you trying to get to, even with, now this is a total contradiction on one hand because Neville Goddard talks about, live in the end. No, you don't want that man or no man. Don't mess with the middle. If you mess with the means in the middle, you're just messing it all up. So just focus on the end. And in that sense, it's true. Like, I don't need to worry about who it is. I just need to focus on, I want to manifest a happy relationship. My intention, the end, is to be in a happy relationship, but that's going to be a co-manifested relationship that's a day-to-day lived experience, and there is actually no end. It's like the excitement and the joy of until I'm dead, and then I'm vibrational again. And or only, like, I'm vibrational right now, but I'm also physical, and then when I'm pure vibrational, I'll still be existing, but I won't be in this physical form anymore. And while I'm in this physical form, I want to enjoy every minute of it. I don't need to manifest. I don't want to be on the altar like right now and then boom, it's over. You know, I want to enjoy that first phone call and that first text and that first date and the first kiss and the first all of those things. And then I want to enjoy the 5,000th text and the 5,000th date and kiss and on and on. And to just sort of understand that the whole enjoyment of manifesting is just of living. So if every moment you think you're manifesting, you're living, and you want to do it intentionally, then that just means it's not about tricks. It's not about magic abracadabra. I'm going to make him, I want to make him appear at my door with a ring. No, that would be creepy and weird because we haven't even gone on a date yet. You know, I want to manifest life, a happy long life that I'm enjoying. So stop racing to the end. You know, it's like the guy in the questions of the video I was watching is like, how do I take the test? How do I get a great grade on the test? Go study, ass. Go study. If you want a great grade on the test, go study and then go take the test and do a great job. Why is that not manifesting? That is. If you want to fail, then don't study. Lay in the bed pretending that you're going there. Think to yourself, oh, I'm going to lay in bed and manifest A, and I'm not even going to show up. Because some lady on YouTube said I can manifest anything I want to just because I thought about it. So, and then you know what? And then you end up with an F. And you're like, my manifestation failed. Yes. How does your manifestation fail? It fails when you fail to live the life that you need to live to get the results that you want to see. You think you can sit on the couch eating cookies like I've done for the last 2 years. If you go back to my old YouTube videos, you will see a way skinnier me. What happened to music? Let's see, I'm going to put my manifestation thingy on that I like. Thank you for hanging out, my Ozark. You're my only friend tonight. I'm going to put on this other music because it's long. Oh, no, wait, this one came on. This one did come back on. Okay. It's so quiet. So, where was I? You know, manifesting is living, and, you know, why? Thank you. I love doing lives. I love doing videos by myself. That's why, that's most of what my videos are. But it is nice to have someone there to feel it, you know, live. And I'm just talking off the cuff. So a lot of times when I do video, well, not a lot, all the time I do videos, I always do little clips and then I edit them, and sometimes I take a week or so before it even gets put out. It can be a month. It really depends. So this is just like really live, unedited. And I see it's already 33 minutes, and let's see. I think it's time for a little snack. See my cute little bag? Look, it's iridescent. And oh, you're amazing. Thank you. This is a cute little coin purse, which has no coins in it. It's like flowers. I'm obsessed with flowers. I was trying to be a florist for 3 years. I was devoted to the guy who's it's 3 minutes around the corner. Oh, let me show you. All right, earlier, I don't know if you saw on the live stream, I was eating one that was like watermelon. It's like sour and it's like hybrid. And this one is indica. Can you see it? It's Verano. It's vegan, so there's no gelatin. I don't know if you can read it. This one is indica, which is nice for nighttime. It looks, it's oh, and it's like grape, Concord grape. And there's a V on it and a triangle, and it's a hexagon. It's so delicious. The sour is like sugar on it. It's a vegan gummy, THC. I'm so happy that where I live now, they finally made it legal to buy recreational. So now I can get the gummies. I never got the vegan gummies because I always would get the flowers from my neighbor, which I still love, but these are very nice. So yeah, so you know, if people realize that manifesting is just basically living, and when people say, you are the creator of your own reality, it sounds so ominous, or that's fine. You know, it's each his own. I'm not a pusher. I personally, I don't like alcohol. Like yesterday at Thanksgiving, you know, everybody was drinking wine or beer or sangria, vodka. I don't like alcohol. I've never liked alcohol. I do not like the way it feels. I don't like the way it tastes. I don't like wine. Gets me drunk. 2 sips of wine, I'm drunk. Then like 10 minutes later, I have a headache and I'm tired. I fucking hate wine. And alcohol, I don't know. It's just not my vibe. It's not my vibe. Thank you. Hi, Eugene Phillips. My Thanksgiving was actually really wonderful. So I was saying, I do not drink. No, I mean, I do. Although yesterday I didn't even bother. Like occasionally I have a beer. And when I say occasionally, I have like 6 beers in my fridge in the basement that are beers that I accumulated from various parties. Like, oh, I'll take a couple. And they've been sitting down there for like, I don't know. It's been a year. I smoke, yes, constantly, all the time. So that's what I was basically alluding to. I don't know if you saw, I was eating one of these. Did you see it? These are vegan, THC infused gummies. That one is indica. It's Concord grape. It's delicious. It's so effing good. So my vibe, I don't know. I'm just like a fucking hippie pothead. Oh, so I have this guy. This is what I'm smoking. It's almost done. But I have another one. I'll show you flowers. Oh, you can't see. Well, anyway, I smoke with my bong. You guys didn't see the little video I made where I was talking about how it's fucked up and it's broken and I MacGyvered it. So yeah. Oh, anyway, manifesting is a fancy way of saying living. And saying, you know, you are the creator of your own reality means how you live is what you're gonna live. Like it's not that hard. Thank you, Eugene. I have 2 channels. This is Love Dreaming Peach, and I have Love Living Peach. I think my light is like, yo, I'm dying. Yes, thank you so much. So I'm intentioning that once a week I'm gonna do a live stream on my Love Dreaming or my Love Living Peach, which is like a dancing or stretching or a yoga or whatever once a week. And then afterwards, like this, I'm gonna do a live chat. And it kind of feels like it's working out like that to do the mat and chat because I start off by stretching my body and then I start by stretching my mind. Mind training. Oh, that's what I was saying, like the low junk slogans. So back to what I was saying at the very beginning of this chat. Oh, you want to see my pillow? I have a crescent pillow. my pillow. And then this is called a Zafu. This is my lavender Zafu. Hello, hello, my lovely peaches. Please drop me a peach in the comment, or a question, or a like if you like it. Look, this is my other one. That's the brother of the lavender one because I loved it so much, so I had to have that. And then the Zabuton, which is the big rectangular. These are like meditation pillows. And then I have this. I know, thank you. Well, you know what? I used to sit in, so my dad passed away in 2013. Oh, again, it's been so long. And he was a humongous man. Eugene, did you miss my live? Because I just did, well, it's not really yoga. I was stretching on the mat. Yes, I've been doing yoga. I started again. So anyway, when my dad was 6'3.5", 6'4", and he was like a huge guy, and he was like 350 plus pounds. And so he had this special chair, like office chair, that was like, you know, good for like a humongo dude. And when he passed away, I got it. I got to have it. And so for like almost 10 years, I used the chair, and it was old. Like he had already had it a while. So anyway, it just completely, the arm fell off. It was like, it was dead. And I haven't been able to find a good one that I can replace it with. So I have this glider that we had bought when I had my first kid. And so that's why I have a million pillows on it. Because it's really a glider and it's not really an office chair. But this way I can, you know, sit and be cozy and do my work. So, thank you so much. If you have any questions you want to ask or add to this chat, if you want me to keep going, I see a lot of people have been popping in and popping out, and that's totally cool. It's been almost 45 minutes, so if you love this kind of content, I'm gonna be trying, now that my children are gonna go every week, they're gonna go Thursday to Saturday with their dad. So Thursday or Friday, those are good days for me to do these lives. So, you know, it might vary between which day of the week it is, but it'll probably always be one of those days, so that I have the house free and I have time. So after my stretch, it's nice to wind down and stretch my mind out. And now I can relax, and maybe I'll work on the video. So the video that I'm working on right now for my LoveLivingPeach, which the next like long form video that I share, ow! The next long form video that I share on my LoveLivingPeach channel will probably be for my patrons, which is, you can find me. Well, honey darling, it's there. It's there. So when I'm done here, if you want to go watch it, it's up on my LoveLivingPeach channel, and it's there. It was like about 20 minutes before I started this is when I did that. And then I was eating my tater tots, and then I came on here to chat with you guys and unwind. So if you're really interested in, oh, I do want to talk a little bit more about the Lojong slogans, which is what I was talking about at the beginning of this video, which is a Buddhist mind training. They're 59 pithy slogans, which all have longer, deeper meanings. And then, okay, cool. And then you learn what each little statement means. Like here's one. I don't memorize the name of the numbers of them all, but like the one, number 9, which is, in all activities train with slogans, which means anytime you're trying to learn something, anything, train with pithy little slogans. It's like, you know, when you're learning in music, I don't know if you ever learn all good boys deserve fudge, or all good boys do fine, and that's the music notes A, B, up, whatever. I can't even think straight because I've been eating gummies and stuff, which reminds me, let me have another bite. You know what? I wish I could be sponsored by these gummies. They should sponsor me, right? How do I get sponsored? Because I'd be eating these gummies on these videos all the time. So anyway, the whole point of the low junk slogans or any kind of pithy statements is so you can train yourself in whatever you want to learn. So if you want to learn how to be a happier person, if you want to learn how to like yourself more, if you want to learn how to feel good about life, if you want to feel like your life is intentional and you don't want to just like kind of drift aimlessly through life feeling like, what's the purpose? What am I here for? I'm so unhappy. I'm so unfulfilled. If you don't want to just drift aimlessly, then you might want to learn some tools. Like, how do you become a happier person? How do you learn how to like yourself? How do you learn how to love yourself? And if those are the kinds of deep dive videos that you really would like to hear me talk about, then you can join me on Patreon. I have a $7 a month tier where you can hear all of these long form videos. And if you like some of the dancing, stretching and stuff that's available, and these long talking videos, I have a $10 tier on Patreon that you can get both of those. So welcome. I see somebody just popped in. If anybody has a question, if you want to ask me anything at all, pop it in now. I'll wait a minute or two. It's been fun hanging out. I've enjoyed it. I've got my live stretch stream up over on LoveLivingPeach if you want to see it. I've got my OF channel if you want to see that super sexy stuff. So if nobody wants to ask a question or a comment, I think I'm going to pop off. Thank you for hanging out. It's been fun. And like I was saying, if you really want to hear me talking more about manifesting, aka living a life that you enjoy, living a life that makes you feel happy, then join my Patreon so you can see those longer videos. I did manifest having a wonderful time at my family's. So I had been so nervous, not so nervous, but I had been a bit nervous and stressed out about, like, is my sister-in-law gonna try to confront me and have an argument with me? And it was like, I tried to back out and I wasn't gonna go, and then my brother was like, you have to come, and it actually ended up being really nice. And my sister-in-law was totally cool. She hosted her and my brother. It was at their house, and my mom was there with her 2 kids and her man. And wait, I'm sorry. My sister was there with her 2 kids and her man, and my mom was there. Thank you, my Ozric one. It did, you know. So like I was saying, I believe in free will, and I don't believe that, oh, just because I intended. So my intention was, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna be lighthearted and have a good time, and my hope was, and that's my sister-in-law's intention too. But because I know and believe that people have free will, and I know and believe you can't control how other people show up, I knew that, you know, I can't choose what she's going to do, but I can have a script for myself, which is like, I'm going to go be lighthearted and have a good time. And if she goes off script, so to speak, like if she decides, like, no, I want to have a confrontation. I'm just trying to make my light come back on. Then, you know, then I knew I'm not going to do that. And I took 2 ibuprofen, like proactive. I was like, I'm going to take 2 fucking ibuprofen before, just to sort of like ease stress. And like, I did feel like a stress headache starting when I was getting ready. And I had my gummies. I didn't have my, I didn't bring the indica because I had to drive there and drive home. So I didn't want to fall the fuck to sleep. But it was great. It was great. My brother smokes. My brother-in-law smokes. My sister smokes. So we were all outside. We smoked. When I say smoke, I mean grass. And so it was fun. It was fine. They were all drinking their drinks, watching football, which I couldn't give 2 fucking shits about. I was like, didn't their outfits change color? And my brother was like, yeah, like 10 years ago. So I was like, yeah, that's probably the last time I was watching football. And I wasn't even watching. So I had a great Thanksgiving. It was really, really nice. The kids had a great time. My son's foot, which had been sprained, is all better. I mean, it's not like 100%, but it's like 90% better. So yeah, we had a great time. Did you guys have did you have a nice time? Did you, the Giants lost. Okay. So then there's that. And did other people play? I don't know. Did you have a fun, anybody have any fun? Did you cook? So I had my vegan food. My sister made collards. She made sweet potatoes. I had salad. What else? I had a lot of vegan dessert. Oh, it's been almost an hour. You cooked? Did you cook? Did you host? I don't think I will ever host. I am an extremely introverted person. I'm not into parties. I'm not into hosting. I'm maybe as I get older and older. Oh, that's fun. Your brother's family came to visit at your parents'. Yeah, so this year my brother and his wife hosted. It used to always be my mom. For a long time it was just like mom, And then it became my sister. My oldest sister became the obvious. Nice. That's cool. The weather's been decent. I live on the East Coast. I'm not going to say where because, privacy, but I will say I live on the East Coast. I live in the area. Live nearby. So it's getting cold. I'm thinking it might be snowing in the next week or 2, but I don't really want it to. So, you guys, I think I'm going to log off. Unless anybody wants to say anything else. Well, I had fun with you, my Osric one. And any last comments? Upstate New York? Well, I will not say where I'm at because I like to keep privacy, but I will say I'm in the tri-state area of East Coast. So there's that. That's as narrow as I'll pin it down. And I know that I have people here who like to watch from Australia. I think they have some people from India. All over the world. Super cool. So, hey, I see one person just popped in. I was going to end the stream. Yes. I was going to end it, but if you want to participate and prolong it and hang out, I would be more than happy to stay a little longer. So I'll give you a moment. I'm talking about manifesting, which is the same as, I thought you just said that you're from there. Hey, 100% true. Why not? Why not what? Didn't you just say you're from New York? You're in New York, or you're in North Carolina? So if you have any questions about manifesting your specific person, or if you want to ask me about me, or if you want to ask about anything, ask how do you love yourself? How do you learn to like yourself? How do you allow yourself to... Oh, I see. Okay, I thought you said you went from NC to NY. So, okay. NC, where the heck is it? I have a map right there. Is it nice weather? Yeah, I grew up in that area too. So I love it when you guys participate. Don't be shy. Come on. Yes, how do you love yourself? Well, I think the way you learn to love yourself is by learning to like yourself first. And how do you like yourself? Well, so like everybody has... Oh, that's nice. It's warm. Everybody has certain things about themselves that they just sort of naturally are. Like you naturally like certain things. And often, whether it's your family or your culture, your upbringing, you know, somehow you may have received the message that those things are not likable. And you learn to not like who you are. And so how you learn to love yourself is to learn how to like who you are. Learn to like that you like what you like, and that you like it for whatever reason. You might not know the reason. It doesn't really matter. The reason why you like things, you like them. And so you learn to like yourself for liking what you like, and then you learn to allow yourself to do the things that you like to do. And then as you start doing the things that you like to do and you're allowing yourself to do that, you'll start to develop love for yourself. And then what happens is that you start to become yourself. You start to become like you bloom. It's like you are a flower, or you are whatever you are. You are a seed. And whoever you are meant to be is contained within all the seeds of the things that you like to do. And when we don't allow ourselves to do the things that we like to do, then we hold ourselves back from thriving and from blooming into who we're really meant to be. And then we can't love ourselves authentically and fully because we're not even ourselves. What if you're the only one who likes what you like and everyone sees you like an outsider? Well, then what that means is that where you are, whether it's within your family or your friends group, or like if you're in school or a job or wherever, like wherever it is that you are an outsider, because that's probably not where you really belong. Like that's totally my life. Like nobody in my family is vegan. Nobody. And nobody in my family talks about this kind of stuff. So eventually, you know, it was like I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. So I started a blog because I wanted an outlet that felt safe, you know. So instead of like every time I would try to have a conversation with anybody in my family about veganism, for example, they would just be like, you know, you're so judgmental, you're so pushy, you're trying to force it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I just want to have a conversation because it's interesting to me. So I started a blog, and then the blog became an outlet for me to explore and to share and to research. And then people who like that stuff, they found me that way. And then I started a YouTube channel dancing. Like I like to dance around my living room. And you know, at some point my children's dad, like when I was with him, when we were a couple, I used to dance around my living room, and he hated that. He actually like literally would be like, I wish you wouldn't be doing this. Like I can't stand that you're doing this. It makes me so uncomfortable. And So when we stopped living together, when we finally broke up, I started to allow myself to do that. And then I would let myself take videos of it because I was like, I wonder what it looks like. And then I started to like just let myself post it online because it was fun. And then I found people who subscribed to me because they liked it. So everything that I'm saying is like, when you feel like you're alone and like nobody agrees with you or feels how you feel, that's because did I feel like he was an obstacle to my happiness? Well, you see, I was obsessed with manifesting him actually, because me and him had been high school sweethearts, and I was obsessively in love with him at that time. And so when we broke up after I graduated from high school, he became an obsession of sorts. Like I was still in love with him, and I felt like I have to manifest him. But then there were all these things, and basically 16 years passed, and then I finally I committed to like, hey, look, I really want to try this and be with you. And he wasn't really in that place, but he was like willing to hang out. And then I got pregnant. So that changed the course of everything in our relationship. So the question, did I feel he was an obstacle to my happiness? I thought anything that would make him not compatible with me was an obstacle to my happiness, because I wanted to be with him no matter what. And I was willing to walk away from anything if that's what it took to make it work. And then unsurprisingly, of course, no, that didn't work. So I did go for 6 years without dancing at all, because I was trying to match him. I was trying to be compatible with him. And then I finally was like, this, I'm trying to match with this guy, and he doesn't even fucking like me anyway. So I might as well just go back to trying to be myself. And then the more that I allowed myself to become more authentic and love myself for who I am and do the things that I wanted to do, even if he didn't like it, the more it became clear that we could not be a couple. And then, yes, it became clear trying to be in a relationship with him was not just an obstacle to my happiness, but was also an obstacle to his happiness. Tiring? I don't know what you mean by that. The relationship, we were not compatible. So for 7 years, we tried to be a couple. We never got engaged, but we did have 2 children, and we did live together. And then on what would have been our 7th anniversary, we uncoupled. We consciously uncoupled, which is a Catherine Woodward Thomas phrase and book and teaching. And I have known him for 33 plus years. He's a very dear, special person to me. He's the father of my 2 children. We have now been uncoupled for 8 years. And, when we should people, that leads to unhappiness. He should do whatever the hell he wants to do, which is his business. It's not my business if it makes him happy or not. It's my business to put myself in a place where I am appreciated. And living in a house with him was not the place. And he shouldn't do anything other than be whoever he is. You see, when we allow other people to be who they are, and we allow ourselves to be who we are, that's when you can actually manifest the right SP. That's why I say we don't need to manifest Bob. Did you ever dance when he wasn't around? Of course. I was dancing when I was a baby. I danced as a child. I danced all my life. But in the 6 years when he wasn't around, so I didn't dance in a school. I mean, I didn't dance as much. No, of course. I wasn't like you know, you can't self-abandon and turn it on and off, you know. So I would do, yes, little bit, but no, I was not allowing myself to fully express myself and be who I was because, um, because I, you know, because it just, I was trying to be something I wasn't. I was trying to be with somebody who wasn't compatible with me. And see, that's the thing. The thing about trying to manifest somebody regardless of circumstances is that you then make that person more important than anything. You make them more important than yourself. You felt controlled by him? No, it's not about that. You're not really understanding what I'm saying. Internally, I wanted to be with him. So internally, not really fully consciously, I was showing up in a way which I thought would make it better for us. It wasn't like he was like controlling me. It was like I wanted to be with him even though we weren't compatible, because I didn't recognize that it's more important to be compatible and to be authentic than it is to manifest a specific person. And when you're fixated on making it work with a specific person, regardless of circumstances, that's when you get into these unhealthy relationships where you will twist yourself into a pretzel because you're doing anything you can in the name of love, in the name of commitment, in the name of monogamy, loyalty, in the name of whatever you want to call it. And ultimately, it's not happy. It's not happy for either person. He is a wonderful man who I love and adore. And I'm not for 1 second trying to imply that I do not love and adore him. However, I am fully aware that his best life is to not be my romantic partner, and my best life is to not be his romantic partner. And that's how you genuinely love somebody, not by manifesting them regardless of circumstances, no matter what, but by allowing them to discern what's the best thing for them, and then allowing yourself to also discern what's the best for you. But, you know, having the willingness to move on from somebody else. Do you think that there's a compatible partner for you out there? Of course. Be careful what you wish for. Why? Why should you be careful what you wish for? No, don't be careful what you wish for. Be discerning. You know, if that's what you mean by it, yes. Wish for things that you genuinely want. So don't just be fixated on manifesting a person because you're obsessed with them, but you can be fixated on manifesting a person that would be compatible with you. So when I talk about I want to manifest somebody, now it's not a specific person. It's not Bob down the road and I'm like, oh, I have to manifest Bob, because that's not where joy comes from. Joy comes from me aligning with, I want to manifest, I want to co-manifest a relationship with somebody who wants to manifest that with me as well, so that it's matching him and matching me too. So when you allow yourself to be who you genuinely are, and then you allow yourself to go out in the world and do what you really like, that's how you can end up meeting people who are going to be in the realm of that. Because they'll be doing the things that they like, and there they are, and you're going to meet them doing what you like. You're going to meet somebody doing what they like, which is going to happen to match you, because there you are doing it. And then that's how you know the person is going to be compatible and fit into your life, because they match you. They might not match your parents' idea. They might not match what your brother or your sister do, or what they think is right, or what they think you ought to do. But that's not what's important, because it's your life to live. Does that make sense? All right, any more questions or comments before we hang it up? If you like this video, give me a like. think it does some good things for the algorithm or what. How can you identify if a person is compatible with you? Well, first you have to know who you are. In order to know if somebody's compatible with you, you have to know who you are. You have to know what you like. You have to know what kind of life. Like, for example, how do I know if somebody's compatible with me? Well, I have children, okay? And I love them deeply and I spend a lot of time with them. So somebody to be compatible with me, he has to love children, want to be a stepfather. He has to want that. Also, I love to dance, I love art, and I love music. So somebody has to match that, meaning he also has to love music. But see, I'm specific because I don't want somebody who loves music, but it's not music I can vibe with. He doesn't have to have the same exact tastes in music, but because I love music so much and I like to vibe to music. My brother-in-law, my sister and brother-in-law, they vibe to the music together, and it's very important to both of them. They like the same kind of music. So, like, I used to work at a vegan restaurant that was run by a vegan guy who also happened to be a heavy metal guy, which I sort of hate heavy metal. The people are cool. It's not like, oh, I hate you if you like heavy metal, but I don't like that music. I like R&B. What if your compatible partner lives across the country? Well, then are they really compatible? In order for it to be compatible, you have to be able to live with them. So if you're willing to move there, or they're willing to move where you are, or you're willing to move somewhere where different than those two places, but you'll be together, then that could work. If they want to be with you and they want to close the gap, and you want to be with them and you want to close the gap, and you're both willing to do that, then that could be compatible. Do you like classical music? I do. My dad was a pianist. He played Beethoven a lot. He loved Scott Joplin, Maple Leaf Rag, and yes, he liked to play a lot of Beethoven. Although I'm kind of ignorant, to be honest. I mean, I should have been a lot smarter about that, but I had too many traumas to go to school and learn a lot of shit when I was younger, so. Debussy. Yes, I do love music. So how is somebody compatible with you? Well, they have to fit. Like, to me, personally, I want to be able to see somebody. So he must want to be a stepfather. But the question is, do you want to be a stepmother? Absolutely. I don't, it's not like, yes, I absolutely would date a man if he had children, of course. So when I say he has to want to be, what that means is that he's completely open to the possibility of what that would mean in their life, in his life, just like me. So you say, would I want to be a stepmother? Sure. If I met a man and he had children, I would absolutely, if he was well suited for me and stuff, I would absolutely love his children and be a stepmom. And I would love that. I would adore it. I would cherish the role. It would be an honor. And I would take it seriously. And it would mean a lot to me. And the relationship between his children and my children would be important. And all of those things. So yes, absolutely. I would, I think it would be, thank you. I think it would be rather hypocritical for me to say somebody has to be willing to, see, that's what I'm talking about. You have to be willing to, you have to be the thing that you want. So if I'm sitting over here like, nah, fuck, I ain't married. I am not interested in no man who has kids. If I'm thinking like that, then I'm probably going to find a guy who's going to be like, I ain't dating no woman who has kids. You don't have to date people who have kids. You have every right to not date somebody who has children. If you don't have children and you don't want children, or you do want children, but you don't want children with somebody who already has children, you have every right to decide what is right for you. Now, I have children, so there's no more up to me. There's no more like, oh, I don't want to date a guy with kids because that's weird. Like, I have kids. So how long after meeting a person would you establish whether this person is for you or not? Um, I mean, it what do you mean exactly by that? Like, after the first date, I would know if I'd want to go on another date. After another date, I'd know if I'd want to go on another date. I don't know, like I wouldn't personally want to marry somebody less than 3 years of dating. My reason for that is because I think that, the first full year, everything is new. It's the first, this is the first, that's the first holiday, it's the first Valentine's, it's the first birthday, it's the first. So that's all fresh. Then the second year, it's the second. And if things are still going great, But to me, marrying someone is so enormous, so huge. I would not personally want to do it unless I've had at least 3 years of life lived with that person. But how long does it take for you to know if you want to keep going? I mean, each date you find out if you want to keep going. And then if at some point you're like, oh, we're not compatible, then you stop dating. There's no there's people who get married and then get divorced. So, that's what I was saying earlier in this. Like, people like to say, oh, end up. It's like, what do you mean? There's no end up. It's just, you just keep living and you just keep doing what's right. I like the idea of a relationship where you both are continuously recommitting. Not like, oh, we're going to say vows and have a wedding every year, but it's like, I think it's silly to say, oh, I'm going to marry somebody and spend the rest of my life with you. Are you fine with the idea that you may not meet the person even if he's out there? No. Why would I be fine with that? I intend to manifest a partner. So if he's out there, I'm going to meet him. I have no qualms about that. I haven't manifested a partner because I haven't been ready. I've been healing. I've been celibate by choice. I've been single by choice. I have had no interest or desire to start getting involved with someone because I was not ready. What if he lives in a different country? What if? Well, I don't. If he lives in a different country, then he's probably not my partner. Because my intention of having a partner is going to be somebody who I can live with. So if he lives in a different country, how can he be my partner? Like, it has to be practical. My way of believing in manifesting is nature is going to take care of it. Like, I personally, I will never internet date. I will never, ever. Again, I should say, because I did a few times many years ago, and it made it very clear to me that is not my storyline. I have zero interest. To me, there is a magic, when we talk about manifesting and magic and stuff, to me there's a magic of life. And that is that you align yourself with what you want to create. Like Aaron Doty says, you're aligned with something all the time. You're either aligned with what you want or you're aligned with what you don't want. You're aligned with who you want to be, or you're aligned with what you don't want to be. You're asking questions. What if he's in another country? That's an extremely out of alignment question. Do you recognize that? Because if he's out of the country, then why would I even bother asking a question like that? What is the point of even asking that question? I'd like to know. Seriously, I'm not berating you. I am wholeheartedly answering your question with a question. What is the purpose of a question like, what if your partner's in another country? Because everything in that question is lack. If the dude is my husband and jumping into the future, like let's say we're married already, and the point is that I am from South Africa. Okay. Oh, so you want to be my husband? Is that what is that the point? You want to be my SP? I'm not dating along, a different country. So if you're the right person for me, then you're going to somehow end up where I am. But that would be weird because I'm not going to tell you where I live because, internet weirdos. Okay, so the whole point of manifesting is it has to make sense. If you're from South Africa, then most likely you should probably manifest somebody who lives nearby you so that you can take them out and see them, Fantasies are all great and fun. I mean, but if you want to manifest real love in your real life, then you're going to need somebody who's near you. I am on the East Coast, USA. I'm closer to you. We're probably in, a few hours. Small chance. Who knows? Is there somebody new here in the chat? Somebody new has entered the chat. Drop me a peach. Can you drop me a little peach? South African peach, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania peach. What kind of peach can you drop? Oh, peaches from Georgia. Where do peaches actually grow? Yeah, I don't live somewhere where you can actually grow peaches. I don't think, unless I had like a greenhouse I could buy. One day, that's my dream, is to grow my own fruits and veggies and maybe have a greenhouse. Okay, any more questions, you guys? It's been over an hour. It's been almost like 2 hours. Wow. Any more comments or questions before I pop off? Georgia, South Carolina. So you're near there. Wait, didn't you say you're in North Carolina now? I don't even know where that is. I'm so bad at geography. And I have a map right there. I have a European map. I've got the world map and I got US. All right, guys. Let's see. You want to say goodbye to Frank? So I think I'm going to have to put Frank away now that Thanksgiving is over. Have you met potential partners? I have not met potential partners, but I haven't even tried. That's what I'm saying. I've chosen to remain celibate and not even date. There's Frank. I'm in North Carolina. Peaches are good. It's Georgia. Yeah. There's Frank. My son was obsessed with getting a full-sized skeleton, and he put his suit jacket on him. And there's a kitty cat, Sure Shot, and Frank. So I think I'm going to have to tell my son, like, we got to put Frank away till next Halloween. These are my flowers I bought myself for Thanksgiving. You want to see them? These are my favorites. These are called green dianthus. And these are miniature roses. So we've got all our Halloween set up. I'm going to have to take down. And, oh, I have my little tiny mini Christmas tree. Isn't it cute? Super cute. And then I'm going to put, well, when the kids come back from their sleepover tomorrow, sounds like you're lazy with this. I think you expect the compatible partner to be manifested. Oh, well, then you haven't actually listened to anything I've said at all, because that's literally the opposite of what I said. I said that I've been healing from trauma, and I have chosen intentionally to put myself first, to not get involved in a romantic relationship with somebody when I was nowhere near ready to do so, nor did I want to, nor did I think it would be healthy or fair or right or good to manifest a romantic relationship with somebody when I was in no kind of state to do so and didn't want to. And so, far from being lazy, it was brilliant and the right thing to do. And it was loving, self-loving, and loving of every other person in the whole world. Because if I were to start dating anyone and not actually be ready to do it, that would be a disservice to them. And that is not how you love people. Every single person who's ever gotten involved with another person when they were not actually ready to be with someone, you're being selfish. That's selfish and lazy. Because if you're not actually willing to love somebody fully, why are you getting involved? Why are you dipping in and taking from someone when you're not ready to actually give? So, my darling South African friend, don't date until you're ready. Otherwise, you're harming and you're hurting people. Okay, any more comments? Any more thoughts? Any more questions before I pop off? Questions, comments? What if he's willing to take you on as you are? What if he's a divorce psychologist? Are you still talking about yourself? And what do you mean, what if he's willing to take me as I am? That's bare minimum requirement, honey. That's nothing special. That is literally the most basic level. Why would anyone want to be with anyone who's not willing to take them as they are? That's what compatibility is. If you're not willing to take somebody as they are, then you're not compatible. So you shouldn't even be bothering, wasting your time or theirs. If you are even entertaining the thought of dating anyone who's not willing to take you as you are, or for you to take them as they are, then run away fast. Because you're only going to hurt someone and also possibly get hurt. Does that make sense? You said that you're not ready because you're dealing with trauma. I said that I had chosen in the last 8 years to not date because I wanted to deal with my trauma. I'm ready now to meet someone in my real life, not online. So yes, I chose to not date for the past 8 years so I could take the time to get to know myself and heal the traumas I'd never dealt with. That's what I said. And I highly recommend everyone else taking the time to do the same. And to save yourself and others from all the heartache that's inevitable when you're not somewhat. Absolutely. Yoga and meditation helps. And, I'm not trying to imply that you have to, a person has to be at any particular level of all healedness. Because believe me, I am going to continue healing. My journey is far from over. However, I had been in a part of a journey where I knew this part of the journey, or I should say that part of the journey that I lived the last 8 years, there was no room nor place in my heart, mind, body, soul, spirit for another person to get involved. So now that I've done the work and I've taken the time, now I don't feel that it would be wrong or ill-matched for me to start trying to date somebody. But I am not going to date people online. I'm not going to date somebody long distance. I have no interest in that because it does not match my life at all. I want to be with somebody I can be with. And I've already done my globe trotting. I've already spent many years living far from home. I've already moved 37 plus times. I'm settling down where I'm settling down, and I'm not doing any more of that for nobody. I'm going to live a life that fits where I'm at, and the person who fits me is going to fit me where I'm at, because that's what I want to manifest. That's what I intend to manifest, because that's what I want. Yeah, honey, I told you I had trauma. I had trauma, and one of the ways that I dealt with trauma was to moving. But I manifested that. Excuse me. I manifested that, meaning that's what I lived. What's the word? I identified with being like a nomad. And I liked the feeling of being, well, I don't remember if if it was you who was saying, what if you feel like an outsider? I don't remember if that was you or if you're gone, but I felt that way. So I would create that feeling. It was a very transient kind of life, and I was like on a journey. I was on an adventure. I was on a mission. I was trying to find myself. And one of the ways that you can find yourself is when you get lost. When you go out into a place where you have no idea where the fuck you are. You don't know the names of these streets. You don't know where this takes you. You don't know anything about where you are. Then all you have that's familiar is you. And I spent many, many years running until I finally, and how was the experience? A decade of self-discovery. And many of those experiences are what helped me, this is my evolution. That was my evolution. That's how I finally came to find out who I am authentically, find out what are the things that I love to do. How do I learn to love myself? How do I learn to like myself? Well, what are the things that are authentically me? Who am I when you strip away everything familiar, when you strip away all the streets that I've known and the people I've known and everything, when you strip it all away and you just start a new life? Who am I? And I had to experience it almost 40 times until I finally got to a place where I started to heal. And I started to love me. And I started to, now I'm ready to root. So now that I'm ready to root in, I'm ready to find my partner. It's not find. It's not like finding is like, oh, he's lost. No, it's not find. I'm ready to link up. I'm ready to meet. I'm ready to start living a life where we know each other and we make plans together regularly and we're investing, and it's obvious to us and everyone else. At what point did I know that I was ready? It's only been very recently, 100% true. Recent. I knew it when I knew it. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really done any major, nothing's changed dramatically. I have a car. I got a car a month and a half ago after 4 years of not having a car. So now I have access to things I didn't have access to before. I'm working for myself now, and that's only been a couple of months as well. So I feel ready, but at the same time, a lot of other things are so much more important. Like, I'm ready, but yet it's not like a to-do list thing. Like, I'm ready to receive love. And in that sense, yeah, he can show up at my door. Like, what steps have you taken to attract that person? Everything I just said. I have spent 95 minutes talking about the last 10 years of the steps I've taken. I feel like you're not really listening. But that's okay, honey. The steps I've taken is aligning myself with becoming and actually being a person who would be willing to be a partner, who would be willing to spend time with a person, who would be willing and ready to invest. And the year's worth of shadow work, which means deeply analyzing myself, my life, my trauma, which is another way of saying the painful things that I lived through that left me with emotional scars that were unhealed and formed into very faulty thinking patterns and behavior patterns, which then led to unhealthy relationships, which then led to more traumatized experiences, which led to more unhealthy thinking. And eventually I broke the pattern. One of the biggest things I did was stop dating. I stopped dating and I focused on myself so I could say, yo, what the fuck is up with you? Without somebody else's bullshit interfering. Motherfucker, I don't give a flying fuck. That's a question. I don't know. That's like a male ego question. How would a male separate me from the crowd? Okay. You're going to a place that's... I don't fucking care. You don't understand what I'm talking about if you ask me that. Because how is he going to see me from the crowd? He's going to feel my vibration. He's going to feel my energy. He's going to see me. If he sees me and what he sees is, if he likes what he sees, if he likes seeing me the way I am, then that's how it's going to stand out from the crowd. I'm not going to show up trying to be sexy for somebody because that's not that's not how I'm going to attract somebody. So I'm not going to live my life on the idea of how am I going to attract somebody to stand out from the crowd by being sexy. No, I'm going to stand out from the crowd because of who I am as a human being. Thank you, my Osric. Yes, that's how you stand out from the crowd, is with your vibration, with your energy. So if somebody is looking for eye candy and they want to see boobs out, high heels, makeup, hair, nails, tits, heels, they're going to find that. There will be that person for them. It's not going to be me. And I'm not going to do that because that's not authentic to me. That's not, like, I'm not going to try to be somebody for somebody that's not attracted to me, who I am. So, and anytime somebody's trying hard to attract somebody by standing out from the crowd, you're going to stand out from the crowd to the right person. They'll see you. They'll feel you. They'll want to get closer and get to know you. And then, you know, a man who sees me and he's like, oh, she looks interesting. She's beautiful. She looks warm and fuzzy. I want to get to know her. And then if we start talking and we have compatible things to talk about, and I'm interested in him and he's interested in me, that's how you attract the right person. But why would he go for you when there's better looking people around you? Also, just because you recently discovered and went through trauma, there are people who've already overcame. So, okay, so 100% true. Yeah, of course there are women who are a bazillion times more beautiful than me. They have better bodies than me. They're firmer. They've got bigger this, bigger that, or smaller this or smaller that. They're richer. They have more money. They have a better car. There's a lot of better options out there. So everything that you're saying, though, is about a person who's not compatible. So if I'm concerned about people who are prettier than me, then I'm very insecure. Because there's, more than half the world is prettier than me. I can't control that, and that's irrelevant. I'm looking for somebody who's going to match my heart, mind, body, soul, spirit. And somebody who's asking questions like you are is somebody who's operating at a level that's not compatible with what I'm manifesting. Because a man who thinks saying something that heartless to a woman, like, I don't know, maybe, you're basically like, hey, there's people who are beautiful, more beautiful and sexier than you, so how is somebody going to be attracted to you? I don't know. Well, I mean, I do know, vibrationally. And, looks and beauty is actually very subjective. So while there might be, 2-3 billion people out there that are more beautiful and sexy than me, that doesn't matter. Thank you, my Osric one. See, it doesn't really matter, though, because the person who's the right person for me, it's not like he's going to be like, oh, you're the prettiest woman in the whole world and there's nobody in the world who's more beautiful than you. It's like, I don't expect somebody to have, like, to be ignorant in a sense. It's like, well, obviously there's other women who are more beautiful, but that's not the point. The point is that to that person, I will be the most beautiful, just like he will be the most beautiful because of who he is, because of who they are. You form a connection with someone, and that is what makes somebody more beautiful, more deeply beautiful. You're talking about surface stuff that is so shallow, and that's not the kind of relationship I'm talking about. It's not simply about being pretty. What if we're geared to have more than one compatible partner? That's the reason why some men might. Okay, so you can do that. You're not compatible with me. If you're polyamorous, that's fine. You can be polyamorous. But a polyamorous person is not compatible with a monogamous person. So if you're a polyamorous person who wants to have a bunch of really hot, beautiful wives, go for it, dude. As long as they are all like cool with it and that's what they want, I don't care. I'm no judgment. As long as you're not hurting anyone and everybody is of like 21 years old and older and like consenting, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But you've got to match up with what's compatible. You can't try to be with somebody who has no compatibility and try to force somebody to be what they're not. All right, I'm tired and it's over 2 hours or something. I don't know. Any more? What are these options for two of you? I don't know, brother. I think those are your concerns, not mine. So if I was dating somebody and he met somebody else he liked better, then obviously he wasn't the one for me, The person that's the right person for me is the person who's like, it's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious to him. It's obvious to me. I don't have to jump through hoops to get him to like me. I don't have to convince him I'm sexier than Sheila. I don't have to be like, oh, I'll suck your dick better or I'll fuck you extra. Bye, my Osric. I love you. I love seeing you. You know, dude, if it's the right match, it's the right match. And you don't have to force it. See you. See you in the next one. Bye.